wanted to me. Alright, boom. So backstory, one day I had my grandma on my dad's side to come take me to school because my mama got in a wreck, didn't have a car, and I lived too close to school for a bus. When she came, she had a bad attitude, like a nasty attitude. That's the backstory. Now let's get to this story. So Friday when I was at work, my phone went dead. I didn't know nobody's number and I didn't have a ride. Don't really mess with my family. And once again, my mama still went on the air. She ain't got a car. So I called him asking for a ride off the work phone and was like, you the only number I knew, can you come get me? So when he came and got me, I got in the truck. He like, why you only know my number? I was like, well, I know my mama number, da-da-da number, da-da-da number. And he was like, okay, well, why you didn't call your mama or your mima? And my mima is his mama. Okay, so I was like, well, my mama didn't answer. And the last time I asked Mima, because she take me somewhere, she had an attitude with me the whole time. And I goes and tell him the backstory that I just told y'all, but you know, it was more detailed, more whatever. And he's just trying to take up for her the whole time. Like, for example, like when I first started the story, he was like, that's because you were supposed to get on that bus. And he knows I don't have a bus. Like, what bus? Like, you trying to take up for her so bad. What bus? And then he was like, I was like, she didn't say good morning or nothing. He was like, well, did you say good morning? They act so much alike, he was just trying to take up for her so freaking bad. Okay, so boom, it gets to a point where I say, you act just like your mama or something. And he was like, my mama? And I was like, not like that. I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying that's your mom. You act just like your mom. Let me insert it.
You just think like your mama. That's it.
My mama?
Yes. I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying that's your mom. Like, you think like your
All right,
mom.
let me tell you something. If you keep on continuing to go through life thinking that people owe you and that everybody got to be nice to you, or look at stuff the way you look at it, you're going to have the same life.
And he just started saying stuff like that, which didn't make sense because I genuinely don't feel that way. And one thing about my dad, he is gonna know, and he just gonna know what I'm thinking. Like, he just gonna know I don't feel that way. I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful for anybody who has ever done a favor for me. Okay, so boom. After that or whatever, I had ended up saying something like that again, and I was like, that's just weird. Like, that's just weird. Let me play that. Let me play that.
You gotta say
All right, girl, you better shut your goddamn mouth right now. The fuck wrong with you?
no, you just taking up for your mom. That's weird.
I will fuck you up. I tell you what, you say one more.
Okay. Come back for part 2.
I will fuck you up. I tell you what, you say one more.
Okay, in that video, you can hear the truck slow down and him turn his whole body around and grab me like this. That's the only reason why the video stopped. He grabbed me like this, but his hand's so big, so like he had my neck and my face at the same time, to the point where both sides of my mouth was bleeding because of my braces at the top and at the bottom. He then goes to say, nigga, I will fucking hurt you. Don't say shit else about my fucking mama. In that clip, I never said anything about his mama. The whole time, I never just said anything about his mother. I never disrespected her. Even when she was rude to me, had an attitude to me, was disrespecting me, I never disrespected her, not one time. The only thing I said, which made him mad, which I played, was, that's just weird. And I didn't say it like, that's just weird. I said, that's just weird, like in disappointment. Like, you supposed to be my grandma, you supposed to be my dad. Like, come on now. So after he grabbed me, I opened his truck door on the main road, and he's slanging and slanging, trying to shut the truck door. I'm not going for none of that. I can tell by his body language, he winding up to hit me like he finna freaking beat me. So he turned down this alley with no freaking lights, no lights down the alley. He turned down the alley. So the door ended up shutting. I end up opening it back, and he got a good grip of me. So boom, I end up letting go, jumping out. I hit the ground. I'm like, dang. I look back, he's still right there. I get up, run behind some buildings. And on Friday, Saturday night, this street jumping. So boom, it was a parking lot with a whole bunch of cars. I had jumped out, ran for a little bit. I had run behind the building, then I ran on the main road. But it was a parking lot with a whole bunch of cars, and it was a car just sitting there. And it was by itself. So I went up to it. I was like, I'm 18, I ain't got nothing. Can I call my mama? Y'all, my mama still didn't answer the phone. So he was like, I mean, if you need a ride, I can give you one. So I prayed to God, got in the car. I was like, please and thank you. Boom, went home, told him thank you. It's not too many good people in the world like you still. Like, you know, got in here, told my mama, y'all, mind you, it's 12 o'clock in the morning. Why did this man not call my mama and tell her what had just happened? He know my phone is dead. He knows the type of like street I'm on. Very prostituted, very dangerous. It was literally a shooting over there. 3 shot, 1 dead earlier that day. Like, come on now. And y'all probably like, you dumb. Like, why would you jump out? Exactly. That was so dumb of me. It was so dumb. But that's how you know I did it for a reason. I felt endangered. I felt more endangered in my dad's truck than I did on that main fucking road. Like, it's 1 in the morning, so it is. Wait, hold on, y'all. It's Monday. It's 1 in the morning, so it's Monday. This happened Friday. I have not seen him, heard nothing from him, nothing. And I don't want to see him, or I don't want to hear from him. I don't want him in my graduation, but I hope my uncle can make it to my graduation. I pray and hope my uncle can make it. Hey. And if you seeing this, I really don't care how you feel about it, because you didn't care about my feelings. The only person feelings you cared about was yours and your mother's, which is okay, cool, but I'm your child. Like, that's weird. Weird. But I ain't gonna say too much, because I know you like putting your hands on females. So, hey, though, that's the end of my story time. I don't know why I did it in 2 parts, maybe because the first one was long. But that's the story time on how I jumped out my daddy's truck and how I never talked to him again. Simple. I really don't feel like that's something small, because this is the second time that I have left this man with me tasting blood inside my mouth. But it's like he don't care about that. Like, I'm not sad or nothing. Like, I genuinely do not care. Like, I never have to talk to you again. Like, never. Like, I promise never. But yeah, mama, I love you. You my everything. For L, love you. For L straight. You ain't going to a nursing home. I don't know what my sister's gonna do with him, but ain't gonna have nothing to do with it. But let me get up off here for my mouth be busted again.
Hey y'all, story time on how I got jumped by 2 girls in the club. Okay, so this is back in 2022. In high school, I was dating this boy, but the boy I was dating, we were dating for like 2 years. He cheated on me first, so I got my get back, and that's what like broke us off then and there. So while we were still dealing with each other, yes, I was talking to other people, he was talking to other people, but he started talking to this girl. We're gonna name her Burger. Okay, he starts talking to Burger. I don't know how he met Burger. I don't know how serious him and Burger were, but Burger knew who I was, okay? Like I said, we were on and off. He was still like, oh, like, we'll get back together, we gonna fix this. And I'm like, yeah, we gonna fix this, we gonna be straight. That was never the actual intention. So I guess him and Burger are like messing with each other for real. But again, me and him are still messing with each other. So yes, I'm going to be calling that phone. Yes, I'm going to be texting that phone. The fuck? So one time I called him and he was with Burger. And I guess Burger like got upset about her or whatever. And then she got on her Finsta and started calling me delusional and saying how I'm ugly and how I won't leave him alone. He's trying to do better. Just da 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 da. So at this time, my Finsta, they knew what was going on. One of my friends knew Burger and was in Burger's close friends. Burger posted a video of her kissing my man in the car. The fuck? So my friend screen recorded it and sent it to me, whatever, da da da. So I asked him, I'm like, what the fuck is this? He was like, oh, like she just picked me up from work. I said, she just picked you up for work, but this is a video of y'all kissing. Make it make sense. So all that was prior to me graduating high school. That was back in 2021. Now we're in March of 2022. I'm in college. I'm thriving. I'm doing good. Middle fingers up to a fuck nigga, okay? It's spring break. Me and my friends want to go out, have fun. We decided to go to this party. Anything but sober. Okay. So me and Burger, like back in 21, we did have like a bit of back and forth. And then she has 2 other friends. I'm going to name one of them Donkey. And the other one... and the other one is Fish. So me, Donkey, and Fish, we all actually went to high school together. Burger went to another high school. Me and Donkey were actually friends in school. Like, I literally have TikToks of me and Donkey together. Fast forward to the party. I'm there. It's been a year. I'm thinking the beef is squashed. Y'all, I was fucking wrong. At the party, I did see Donkey and Fish outside, but I'm like, again, it's been a year. Like, the beef wasn't that serious. So, you know, at the party, drinking, smoking, having a good time, it's anything but sober. So, yes, I'm going to be anything but sober. I'm standing up with my friend. I feel somebody walk by me and bump my shoulder. I look back. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Who did that? Y'all, why the fuck was it Burger? I said, damn. I done clipped my hair up. I done put my phone in my bag, joint in a bag, drink on a counter, because what's gonna pop off, okay? So, Burger, I don't want to say she's fat, but, like, she's heavy. Like, she's on the heavier side. Yeah, Burger standing face to face. She talk about some, I'm here, you're here, what you want to do? Huh? She said, I'm here, you're here, what you want to do? We started going back and forth a little bit. Somebody had called security. Security came and took Burger and removed Burger out the club. So I'm like, okay, the situation's over. Like, it's done. Little did I know, Fish did not leave with Burger. Fish was still inside. I don't remember too much in between, like, the going back and forth and the actual fight. But I do know I was just standing there and I felt someone literally grip the back of my wig. I said, fuck. And then it was Fish. Me and Fish started fighting. So I'm doing my little 1-2, you know, Fish is on the ground getting her ass beat as she motherfucking should. So I'm bent over. Fish is on the ground. I feel a bomb, bomb, bomb on my back. Her forearm, whatever the fuck this is, hit me on my back 3 times. I'm like, what the fuck? Y'all, Burger done got loose from security and tried to jump me. We ended up getting pepper sprayed like 2 or 3 times. Burger hit me only them 3 times, really. And I would post the video that I got on here, but I don't want my TikTok deleted. So after the fight, they're in my DMs. I'm gonna beat you up every time I see you. It's up when I see you. Why? If y'all feel like y'all won, why do y'all want to fight every day? So I told her, I said, let's just go down to the McDonald's and fight down there. Like, fuck. Y'all guessed it. They didn't come to McDonald's. We never seen each other or fought again. That's how I got jumped by 2 girls at the club.
Heartbreak ain't got shit on when you first find out that bitch you was.
Boom. Sophomore year of college. I lived in the dorms. I lived in a suite. I had a roommate, but the people that were living next to us in the room, like right next door to us, it was 2 of them in there. So one of the girls, when we first met, we kind of like clicked instantly. Like we became friends. Like we would smoke together. We would eat together. Like we would complain about the other girls together because they were just weird. So like sometimes they would be dirty and we would be complaining about them. We just kind of like hit it off. So in college, like my parents, like, you know, they made sure that I was okay. They made sure I was good. So they was always like buying me groceries or like sending me money for groceries, all types of stuff. So because me and this girl became so cool, I'm talking about cool to the point where we would do every single thing together. We would go to class together. We would ride the shuttle bus together. We would go to the grocery stores together. We would go everywhere together. Like that's how, over a course of time, how close we got. My parents would buy me groceries or send me money for groceries. I would buy food. I would cook for the both of us. Make sure we both eat. I go out to get something to eat for dinner. I'm making sure, hey, you good? You need something to eat? You know, all different types of stuff. You know, I got my refund check. All right, cool. We going out to dinner. Like, it's on me. Don't worry. I got it. Like, you know, type thing. That's how, you know, close we was together. She knew how to roll. I didn't know how to roll. Like, she taught me how to roll and everything. Like, we were like this. To the point where, like, I think, like, the other suite mates did something to us. Like, I don't know. Like, they just irritated us so bad. We were like, all right. So we went to, like, the head, like, RA person. Like, we got our rooms changed. Like, so we moved out of that suite and then moved in together. So we moved out, moved in together in our own suite. Like, in a different suite, but we were roommates at this point in time. So once again, still really close, really tight. Do every single thing together. So like I even at the time I was working at H&M, like she was like she needed a job. I was like, all right, I got you. I went to the people, it was like my friend, like, can y'all hire my friend? They hired my friend and everything, got her a job, whole work. So now we really like we're working together, we already live together, like it's cool. So one day, like she leaves. Like, she's like, oh, I'm going to, like, my cousin's house, which wasn't, you know, random because I had met her cousin before. She goes there or whatever. So she's like, I'm going to my cousin's house. I'm like, all right, cool. Hours go by. She doesn't come back. I'm like, all right, well, I'll try to text her. I text her. She doesn't answer. Next day, still doesn't come back. Like, you know, nothing. So she's gone, like, at this point, she's been gone for, like, almost, like, 2 days now. So at this point, I'm starting to get nervous because I'm like, I haven't heard from her. My messages aren't delivering. Like, nothing. Like, I'm nervous at this point because I'm like, oh my gosh, like what if something happened to her? Like, you know, even because like I said, she's been to her cousin's house before, but she always like would like text me back or call me back or whatever like that. But she didn't do that this time. So I started to get nervous. So I had her location, even though like the location, it was showing like from however many hours ago that her phone was like on or whatever. So I'm like, okay, like what if she's in trouble? So you know what I do? I'm like, I gotta go get her. I gotta go find her. I gotta go make sure she's okay. So I tell my other friends, I'm like, y'all, I'm about to go pull up on this address. Like, you know, they're like, I don't know if you should do that. I'm like, you know, but what if like something's wrong? Like, you know, whatever, but I'm gonna stay on the phone with y'all the whole time. So I get my little sock, I stuff a bunch of stuff in it, you know, just in case I need a weapon, and I'm out. So I Uber to the address and like it's just like this like house. So then I knock on the door. I walk up to the door. I knock on the door. I'm like, hi, it's so and so here. Da da da. So then it's like an older lady at the door. She goes and calls somebody else, and then I guess next thing you know, my friend comes to the door. So I'm like, are you okay? Like, I haven't heard from you. She's like, yeah, like, I'm fine. I'm like, well, what, like, where are you? Like, whose house is this? Like, are you okay? Like, she's like, yeah, like, let me just get my stuff and we can go. So I'm like, all right, cool. Whatever. So she grabs her stuff. We go, we get in the car. So I get her, we are in the Uber, we get back to our dorm room. So I'm like asking her, I'm like, yeah, like, who is that guy? Like, like, how do you know him? Da da da. She was like, yeah, like, I met him. Like, I think she said she met him somewhere or whatever. And they started like texting or whatever. And so she went over there. And then she was like, I was like, well, why didn't you tell me like where you were going? She was like, yeah, he told me not to tell anybody like where I was going and da 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 da. And I'm like, that's weird. She was like, yeah, I know. I was like, yeah, that's like really weird. Like, how do you know this? But she was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to see him again. Like, whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, she's like, yeah, because he was acting like strange or whatever. And, I was just, he said that he was going to give me some money, da da da. So I'm like, all right, cool. So, boom. Fast forward. Weeks later, like, she's like back on her disappearing act. Like, she's disappearing. And at this point, like, I'm already hip. So I know you obviously is with homeboy. Since like I already told you that I thought he was like weird, whatever. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. So she continues to like hang out with him. So at this point, like, the girl's not coming home. She's not going to class. Like, she's not nothing. Then one day, like, she basically like fake goes like missing. Like, her mom hasn't heard from her. Like, but at this point, like, I'm kind of like over her because like, like I'm over, I'm done. Like, I've been through the same thing over and over for weeks and weeks and weeks. So at this point, I'm over it. But one day, like, the public safety people like basically come to like my door and they're like, yeah, like, have you seen her? Da, da, da. I'm like, yeah, no, I haven't seen her in like God knows how long or whatever. They're like, okay, well, if she comes back, like, let us know. Like, basically we're looking for her. So basically, like, the girl, like, I guess she's not answering her mom. Like, she's not doing nothing. Like, whatever. But keep in mind, anytime she would come home, I'd be like, yeah, like, I don't think it's right for you to, like, I still was telling her how I thought this man was weird. So after all of that, boom, one day she magically pops up home. So, all right, cool. She pops up home and she's basically saying, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I feel like I neglected you as a friend. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I feel like she was like, I was talking to my mom. This is when we came back from Christmas break, by the way. So she was like, I was talking to my mom because I went home for Christmas break and I was talking to my mom and she was telling me about how I was wrong for like, how I've been like treating you and stuff like that. And, yada, yada, yada. And like, I want us to like, get back to where we was and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, like, cool, because at this point, like, I'm not over, like, we still cool. We still friends. That's still my girl. So I'm like, all right, cool. So then she gives me like some like old like jackets, like sweaters or whatever that she could no longer fit because she was bigger than me, by the way. So she gives me like some old jackets and stuff that she could no longer fit. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Like, that's so nice, whatever. So I'll take the jackets. So then after that, once again, another disappearing act. She's gone, like, haven't seen her, whatever. So